Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video. For those of you who have always wondered about the world of scratcher tattoos and what they are, I am here to use my platform today to tell you guys all about scratcher tattoos and my very much first-hand experience with scratcher tattoos. So as you can tell by the title, this video is called My Scratcher Tattoos, Think Before You Ink. Now that is definitely a saying that a lot of people, if you've ever considered getting a tattoo, make sure that you are definitely thinking about what tattoo you are wanting, where you want to get it, and make sure that it is something that you really want and something that you are willing to commit to. So for those of you who maybe do or do not know what scratcher tattoos are, basically a scratcher tattoo artist is someone who taught themselves the art of tattooing without having the guidance of a professional tattoo artist in a professional tattoo shop for an apprenticeship. Basically, a scratcher tattoo artist is someone who, bought a kit offline and just started tattooing out of their kitchen. They didn't really get the proper training and learn the proper technique of tattooing because it is something that you do have to learn how to do. It's not something that you just pick up and know how to do right away. There is definitely a lot of things that you have to take into consideration when you are tattooing somebody. There are a lot of risks and dangers with tattoos alone, but you do run the risk of more of those really bad things that can happen with tattoos if it is done by a scratcher artist. Now, me myself, I have definitely been tattooed by a scratcher before. I have definitely been tattooed in a kitchen. I've been tattooed in a bedroom. I've had my fair share of scratcher tattoos, and a few of them I've had kind of reworked, and a few of them I just kind of left them the way they are. I have been tattooed by a non-professional tattoo artist at least 4 or 5 times. So I have quite a few little stories, and I am going to show you all of my scratcher tattoos today, and I am going to have a few different story times of my scratcher tattoos and things like that. So first, before we get down into what my scratcher tattoos are, I do just want to run over the risks and the dangers of getting a tattoo done by a scratcher artist. If you have a friend or a boyfriend or a dad or a mom or a grandma who bought a tattoo kit offline and wants to tattoo you, make sure that you are taking into consideration that they do not know what they are doing. This is your body we're talking about. This is, a needle going into your skin, something that is very serious, something that is very permanent. So just please be aware of all of the risks and dangers of getting a tattoo in like a kitchen or a basement or someone who is not a professional. So just some of the few things that you can get is you can definitely run the risk of HIV, hepatitis, staph infections, and keloid scarring, especially if someone doesn't know how to tattoo skin properly. You can definitely end up with a lot of really bad scarring, and instead of being left with a mediocre shitty tattoo, you're going to be left with a really bad scars. And also another thing about scratcher tattoos is that there is a very good chance that they are not tattooing in an actual shop, and if they are, I highly doubt that a health inspection has been done, because the difference between a tattoo shop and someone who tattoos out of their kitchen is a tattoo shop, they get their monthly health inspections, they get everything looked over, their equipment is always sterile and new and out of the packaging and so on and so forth, where if someone who is not following the guidelines of like a health inspector or anything like that, then you just are in a very unsterile environment with very unsterile equipment, and you're just going to be left with poor quality tattoos. So, and another thing you guys need to keep in mind is if you are considering becoming a scratcher artist, please be aware, at least in the state of Michigan, that is illegal. You cannot run a business or tattoo people and have them pay you for that out of your home. That is very illegal, because not only are you putting yourself at risk to get caught and get in a shit ton of trouble, but you are also putting the person that you're tattooing in a lot of danger. I've had my scratcher tattoos since about 2012, and I have never had anything bad happen. I don't have HIV, hepatitis, none of that stuff, but not everyone is this lucky. So just please kind of keep in mind before you get a tattoo. If you want to get a tattoo, please go to an actual shop. It will be so much more worth it in the long run, so just please do that. So without further ado, with all the little disclaimers and everything out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the most embarrassing video of my life, and I'm going to show you my scratcher tattoos. Now, mind you guys, I don't want you to think that I regret any of these tattoos. I absolutely love all of my tattoos, and honestly, I wouldn't feel like myself if I didn't have these tattoos. I do really like them. I do wish that they were done a little bit more cleaner, I guess, but By no means do I regret them. I'm not going to get them removed or anything like that. I have had a few of them reworked and gone over again, but the thing with scratcher tattoos is sometimes that they end up so bad that they are just beyond repair and there's really nothing you can do. So, whereas if you get a tattoo, another tattoo artist could probably fix it, but when it's a really shitty scratcher tattoo, you're kind of just like SOL. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first scratcher tattoo that I ever got is on my wrist right here. It is on my right wrist, and you guys probably can't see it because it's upside down, but it is right there on my bottom wrist, and it says Jackal. So I got this tattoo back in 2012 after I got my very first dog, and I obviously did name him Jackal. His name came from the 80s band Jackal, and that's why it is the actual band logo on my wrist, because that is who he was named after. This one was done in a kitchen by my boyfriend at the time. He used like a little 7-round liner and outlined the whole thing and just filled it in with black. This one definitely really did hurt, but I don't think it was because of him. I think it was just because the wrist is a very sensitive spot, but this is definitely my very first scratcher tattoo that I ever got. I have since gotten this reworked, and what I mean by reworked is I just had the black filled in again and I had a couple of the lines filled in. And I do really like this tattoo just because it is the name of my dog, and I absolutely love my dog. He was my little baby, my first dog ever. You guys, everyone watching this, you guys probably all know who Jackal is at this point. The next scratcher tattoo that I'm going to show you, I actually kind of wanted it to be a scratcher tattoo, and I did do a video on this like way back in the day right after I got it. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I will have that linked up in the corner. It is a very old video. It's back when I had my blonde hair, but there was a reason for getting this done as a scratcher tattoo, and that is the one on my right hand, and that is this little black cross that you are seeing. This was done in my apartment at I think it was maybe 2014 is when I got this one done. And then I did also record myself getting this one done in my kitchen for those of you who maybe want to see that. I have had this reworked a little bit in the past, but because my line of work, I am a barista at a coffee shop, so I do run into a lot of things where I burn myself a lot. There's hot water, hot milk, hot coffee, you know, so on and so forth. I do burn my hands quite a bit, which is why this tattoo is a little bit faded and a little messed up, because I have burned it so many times. Same with this one, it has seen its fair share of burns. So I just kind of leave it the way it is, but yes, this is my second scratcher tattoo. Well, not my second one I ever got, but one of the other ones that I did get. And this one didn't hurt too bad, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit imperfect, and I actually really do like this tattoo. I like the way it looks. The very next scratcher tattoo that I got, I have to turn around for this, so I don't know how many of you are going to be able to hear me very well, but it is on my back shoulder, and I'm sure a lot of you know which one I am talking about. This one was to honor my love for Jeffree Star. I have been a fan of Jeffree Star since his EP came out back in Hot Topic. What was that, like 2007, 2008-ish? I have always loved Jeffree Star, even before, like a lot of people know him now as like a YouTuber and a makeup artist and so on, whereas the people who truly love Jeffree Star know that he started way back in MySpace with his music. So I've loved him ever since then. I've always been a big fan. And my all-time favorite song by him when he was a singer was Beauty Killer, and I wanted to get the album art tattooed on me. So one night, me and my boyfriend at the time, I was like, hey, will you tattoo me right now? This is what I want. Let's do it. Let's go. So that night, really late at night, we went into the kitchen and he tattooed it on me, and I have it on my back shoulder blade. This one I also have had reworked. And again, what I mean by that is I've had a few more blood splatters added, and I've also had the black touched up as well. But I will go ahead and show you what this beauty looks like. So that's what it looks like on my back shoulder. It looks just like the album art. The only difference is the album art has pink blood splatter, and I decided to get red because I'm a little bit more gruesome like that. But that is what my Beauty Killer tattoo looks like. This one really fucking hurt, which is why I don't have any other tattoos on my back, because they hurt like a bitch. It really does look similar, I promise, but obviously it is a little bit more flawed because it was done in a kitchen in very dim lighting, you know, by a non-professional. Okay, so the picture is kind of blurry, but if you compare like the actual like album art, hopefully you can see that okay. It does look very similar, but I just went with the black and red color scheme rather than the pink and black. And then my last two scratcher tattoos that I have on my body are on my lower stomach. You guys already know which ones I'm talking about, but I do have two Marilyn Manson hearts on the lower parts of each side of my stomach. I call them the Marilyn Manson hearts because they are kind of like the logo on the Eat Me, Drink Me album. Again, huge fan of Marilyn Manson. A lot of people think that they're Tim Burton inspired, and I'm like, no bitch, that's the Manson hearts. And I wanted two of them, but I wanted them to go on my lower stomach. So one night, we only did one heart at a time back in the day. I think this was also in 2012, I'm pretty sure. And they seriously, hands down, the most painful tattoos I've ever gotten. They really hurt really bad, so I could only do one night. And then a few, I think it was maybe like a month, 2 months later, something like that, we decided to go in and do the other one. These ones, which I've never pointed out to anybody and no one's ever really noticed unless you're really looking at them, but the two hearts are actually a little bit different. And the reason for that is because when we got the stencil for it, we found one heart and used that stencil, lost it, so when it came time to do the other one, we looked it up again and stenciled it, and it turned out to be two different versions of the Manson hearts. So I have two different Manson hearts. They do look a little bit different. Again, not by much. It's not like a huge dramatic difference, but they definitely are different. These ones I have never had touched up. I really want to get them touched up and maybe have them fixed a little bit so they could look a little bit similar to the other one. For having them since 2012, they really don't look that bad. I do definitely prefer one of them over the other, and I will show you what they look like. I can't believe I'm doing this, but here are my Manson scratcher tattoos. Okay, so here's my lower stomach and here are my Manson tattoos. This was the very first one that I got done. As you can see, it is a little bit faded in some spots and it is a little bit kind of just old looking. And then this was the second one I got done. This is the one I like way more than this one. You can very obviously see this one kind of connects more, this one does not. But for the most part, they do look pretty similar. It's not something that really bugs me, but if I could go back in and have them just darkened up and maybe fixed a little bit, that would be great. But they come down perfectly evenly to each other and they are like spaced apart just right from my belly button and all that. But I've never pointed this out to anybody before, but they are two totally different hearts, but they are the Manson hearts, and these are actually some of my favorites because I love the way they look. So, okay guys, and those are all of my scratcher tattoos that I have on my body. Every other tattoo that I have ever gotten was done by a professional artist in a professional shop. I highly recommend that you don't even go down the route of scratcher tattoos and you only get professionally done ones. I know a lot of people, I already can see some of the hate comments that I'm going to get, but it's like, you guys need to take into consideration, this was something I did back when I was fresh out of high school, 18 years old, really wanted tattoos. And for me, that was just something that we did. Like, it was something fun that we did and we enjoyed it. I'm the kind of person where I just don't really give a fuck when it comes to certain things. So if like my boyfriend at the time wanted to practice tattooing, I was kind of like the guinea pig and I really didn't mind it. I love my tattoos. I think they're great. I know a lot of people will not like them. I know a lot of people will probably lecture me in the comments, but save yourself that time because guess what? They're already done. They're on my body. There's really nothing you can do about it. They're not just going to disappear if you call me an idiot. They're not going to disappear if you call me a dumbass. Like, just let it be. They're not on your body. They're on my body. I just kind of wanted to make this video as something a little bit different, something to kind of give you guys a little bit information about. There you go. There's really nothing else I really have to say. I really hope a lot of you guys kind of took in the information that I was saying and kind of took in my own personal experiences and kind of learned from this. If any of you out there have a scratcher tattoo yourself, please let me know what it is down in the comments if you're comfortable with it. I would love to know. Please don't be ashamed of it. There are many other people out there that have it way worse than you do. I mean, just think about it, guys. You could be this person right here. Okay? Many people have it way worse than you do. So don't be ashamed of your tattoos. I would love to know what they are. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this, make sure you give a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to go down and subscribe and leave a comment before you go. But as always, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!